QuicksortRx is a pharmaceutical spend analytics platform that helps hospitals and health systems identify savings by evaluating their purchasing trends and market price changes in real time, automatically identifying action steps to lower the cost of buying medicines. It's a real game changer. Where did the idea come for QuicksortRx? How did you cast a net for these ideas, and where did this jewel come from?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I kind of worked myself up into this space where I was looking for like-minded people in the organization, outside of my department, sometimes within my department, but people who were looking to make a difference and understood MUSC from a different perspective, and knew that they could make a difference and had some good ideas. And so I got into this sort of community, a small group of people, and then we started something we called the Innovators Meetup. Matt Hebbard, who's my co-founder, he's a PharmD, so a doctorate in pharmacy. He had worked in supply chain at MUSC, but he worked, on the other side of campus. I knew a little bit of him from this Python meetup, but it wasn't until, I kind of put myself out there as like searching for ideas that he came to me for help. And he had been trying to teach himself programming, computer science for over a year to try to solve this problem that eventually became our company, which was, how do I get the best price on pharmaceutical products? And so essentially we looked at the problem together.
The ideas that great companies come from are just from folks like yourself that observe their current environment as opposed to keep changing their environment. And you guys did a wonderful job. So explain to me, please, the product itself. Is the product that you have today at your company that same product, that same need that you're solving, or are you guys on to a different need? What do you solve?
We are expanding, but our core product, essentially, it's kind of like TurboTax for buying pharmaceuticals. That's how I try to explain it. Things that would take hours of like Matt's time before and cross-running all these calculations, and he was building access databases. Essentially, we made that absolutely trivial. You can evaluate it in about 15 seconds. Everything he needed to solve the problem is there available to him. There was no cruft about things that didn't matter to the problem. And it was a super interesting problem because I had no business going in a pharmaceutical space. Like I knew nothing about this space. I had to learn all about these products. And like pharmaceutical products are unbelievably complex. They can be liquid forms, different dosage strengths, and different vial sizes, and constitutions of other base forms, compounded bags. It's wild. It is really wild. But essentially, what we do is take all that information and help them make the best decisions and do it in a way that really respects them. And, I always drew my inspiration from consumer products. So I want it to look good. I want it to be really fast. I want it to be well organized, the font choices, the whole look and feel. And then, of course, great algorithms and everything behind the scenes is essential. And the math has to be right. But we did it in a way that was almost addictive. And, we've noticed that everywhere our software goes, like the usage just immediately increases. It doesn't require anything more than 30 minutes of training. And the users gravitate towards it. But, I'd hope they would. We spent 3 days a week together, like working on it side by side, and we had this real critical environment of tell me what you don't like. Because I just wanted to do it right, like I didn't really I didn't care about personal criticism by that point. I think that's an important thing that, early on I did, but somehow along the way I quit caring about being right and just wanted to find the right answers. And that was a huge kind of watershed moment. And that really showed up in this project where it was just like, look, I'm not going to get offended. I just need to know how you feel. But what was so great about that, people were like, oh man, that's kind of scary. It's like you'd come back next week, incorporate their input, and they would just be blown away. They'd just be like, oh, this is awesome. Oh, I love it. This is great. And, quickly you get over that, the first way I did it was wrong. It's like, hey, I got it right. They love it. And getting into that mindset of wanting to know what is right, you discover that through conversations with other people and a, sort of dialectic of sorts, has been one of the most powerful tools I know.